All right, so I'm going to hand this over to our secretary, Ms. Kim Croft, so she can tell us
So
about
the way the agenda is laid out is that every section has a new person who announces that section. Sometimes it's the president, sometimes it's the vice president, sometimes it's the secretary. It's really important to make sure that each of these roles fills that position in the agenda. You don't want one president going around talking the whole time, because that's not how our meetings are run. You want to have a different voice every time. If maybe your president or your vice president or your secretary is gone that day, pick someone else in the chapter to fill that spot so that you still have a different voice throughout the entire chapter meeting.
Get that to Savannah. She posted that, so just check where you're at with that.
A fun tidbit that we have kind of included with our chapter meetings is when we talk about our chapter activity or our chapter binder, is we actually have kind of a competition from week to week to highlight the members who've had the most face-to-faces that week, the most sent referrals that week, and even tracking how many guests were brought the previous meeting. This really kind of helps with those personalities who like to compete, and it keeps focus on what we're about in Master Networks, which is face-to-faces, which lead to referrals and more ROI for everybody.
And drum roll for our, well, wait. Super exciting. We almost are at our year anniversary, so we're so close. I can't wait to close out. We got, what, 2 more weeks left to close out the year? All right, I'm going to hand it over to our vice president to tell us a little bit about the training tidbit for our guests. Can you tell them what that means?
A way to think about your meeting is that it's almost a commercial for your guests that attend. The magic that happens in your meeting actually happens outside of the chapter meeting, if we're all being honest with ourselves. So as a president and vice president, secretary, and leadership members, we want to focus the meeting on the visitors who are attending. And that means including them in on certain things that are happening, explaining why we're moving into another thing. My vice president's really great in explaining what the training tidbit is and how it's something we do weekly, so we all have some knowledge each week to take into our jobs and our businesses every week. So using little tidbits like that throughout the meeting and just acknowledging the visitors who are there and making them feel part of the meeting is really, really important to help with the close and help grow your chapter with more members.
You give discounts to Master Networks, so that's coming up.
Perfect. Can we give a round of applause? So with that, we're going to run into our introductions because today is Showcase Day. Who loves Showcase Day? I love Showcase Day.
On weeks 2 and 4, we have what are called introductions. The reason we do this is to save time because there's going to be 2 showcases that day that take up over 20 minutes of the meeting. So in order to make these be quick and efficient, we say our name, our business, and our tagline, our title. And then to keep up the energy and the efficiency between each speaker, we do what's called a double clap. So it's just 2 claps right next to each other, and then we move on to the next person. This makes the whole meeting go much smoother, much quicker, and that you make up some time you could be going over to save for your showcases.
So you broke it. David's like, I've already, yeah, I'm on top of it. Yeah. So in front, today is our showcase day, where basically 2 of our members get to really showcase what they do. And in front of you, you've got some feedback forms. And
so feedback forms are what we use on our weeks 2 and 4 showcases. This is an opportunity for the members to give feedback to the presenter in a way that is not only constructive, but also helpful and encouraging. We have 3 items of what was working well for the speaker, whether that was the visual aids, their cadence, how they interacted with the audience, and then something that they can grow upon so that when they go to present in front of a client or a customer, they're not making the same mistake again.